Hey, this is Rick Gold, and today we're going to manifest money the Neville Goddard way, and in our own way. Let's imagine it and feel it real. And of course, we always have enough money to insulate ourselves from any crisis, and any outside influences can't touch us because we are protected. Even though the price of everything is going up outside of us, we know our power comes from the inside. And all we have to do is feel it real with more money coming into our existence and into our lives that we can use to help ourselves, our family, and our friends. We have more than enough, and we always will have more than enough. And we have always had more than enough. Let's revise that. Everything's always been perfect in our lives. And we're going to make money today with Neville Goddard, in the Neville Goddard fashion, and use some Neville Goddard quotes to get us started. As I have said repeatedly, everything depends upon our attitude towards ourselves. That which we will not affirm as true of ourselves cannot develop in our lives. So consequently, everything that we affirm as true of ourselves will develop in our lives and already has developed in our lives. We have always had enough money. We always will have enough money. And we have enough money right now to share, to give, to buy anything we desire, to keep us safe, secure, free, and in fashion. What we affirm is true in our lives is true in our lives. We always have enough. Dr. Millikan wrote his dream of greatness and security in the first person, present tense, as if it was him speaking and he was speaking about the now. I have money right now. I have more than enough money right now. I always have more than enough money, and always includes right now. He did not say, I will be great, I will be secure, for that would have implied that he was not already great or secure. Instead, he made his future dream a present fact. I have, said he, a lavish, steady, dependable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. I have a lavish, steady, dependable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. Let me share a letter from a friend. She said, I am a freelance designer. I never seek work, but as I sit at home and imagine I am working, they call. In the past 6 months, I have received only a few orders from a company that kept me very busy in the past. So I called them to discover that they had employed a full-time art director and would no longer require my services. After hanging up the phone, I revised this conversation. I heard them tell me that they had lots of work for me, and I felt the thrill in their words. 1 week later, they called, asking me to design a 26-page book of institutional advertising, plus 4 ads for Harper's Bazaar. This was more than they had given me in the past at any one time. Now I am busier, happier, and making more money than ever before. Busier, happier, and making more money than ever before. And my technique is simple. While sitting in my chair, I quietly listen for the phone to ring, enter it in my imagination, and I hear the orders I desire to create on the phone, and then they come in. Ask yourself how you would feel and what you would be doing if your business venture were a great success. Well, our business ventures are a great success. What are we doing right now? Listening to Neville Goddard. Become identified with that character and feeling, and you will be amazed how quickly you will realize your success, and your dreams will come true. They already are. They've already come true. Our dreams are true. Our dreams are our reality. The only sacrifice you are called upon to make is to give up your present concept of self and appropriate the desire you want to express. The great secret of success is to focus the attention on the feeling of the wish fulfilled without permitting any distraction. We allow no distractions, and our feelings are fulfilled, our wishes are fulfilled, and we live in the end. We are there now, in our success, right at the edge of that state of success. Personal success, financial success, life success, love success, and all successes are ours, already ours. Today we're concentrating on financial success, which is what we have that insulates us from any pain in our lives. It helps to have money. Isn't it nice to have money? Plenty of money to share and to give and to spend. Very nice. The question is often asked, what should be done between the assumption of the wish fulfilled and its realization? Nothing is the answer. The answer is nothing. It is a delusion that other than assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you can do anything to aid the realization of your desire. So feel it real, kick back, relax, and it will come. Say it has already come now to speed the process up. We live in financial abundance. We are bathed in splendor. Everything we need and want is all around us, all the time, and we always rejoice in our luck. You think that you can do something, you want to do something, but actually you can do nothing except feel it real. Live in the end. The illusion of the free will is to do, but ignorance of the law of assumption upon which all action is based. The illusion of the free will is to do is but ignorance of the law of assumption upon which all action is based. The illusion of the free will. Everything happens automatically. All that befalls you, all that is done by you, happens automatically. Your assumptions, conscious or unconscious, direct all thought and action to their fulfillment. To understand the law of assumption, to be convinced of its truth, means getting rid of all the illusions about free will to act. All we gotta do is feel it real. Let's do a meditation. Here, 15 seconds. We see ourselves as we want to be. You feel that? Yeah, you, by your conscious assumptions, determine the nature of the world in which you live. You, by your conscious assumptions, determine the nature of the world in which you live. Ignore the present state and assume the wish fulfilled. Claim it and it will respond. The law of assumption is the means by which the fulfillment of your desires may be realized. The law of assumption is the means by which the fulfillment of your desires is realized. Every moment of your life, consciously or unconsciously, you are assuming a feeling. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Assume the feeling of perfection right now. You can no more avoid assuming a feeling than you can avoid eating and drinking. All you can do is control the nature of your assumptions. Thus, it is clearly seen that the control of your assumption is the key you now hold to an ever-expanding, happier, more noble life. At this time, this wonderful thing happened to me. I was out of a job and had no family to fall upon for support. I needed just about everything. To find a decent job, I needed a car to look for it. And though I had a car, it was so worn out that it was ready to fall apart. I was behind in my rent, I had no proper clothes to seek a job, and today it's no fun for a woman of 55 to apply for a job of any kind. My bank account was almost depleted, and there was no friend to whom I could turn. My desperation forced me to put my imagination to the test, but I needed so many things, and in such short order, that I found myself exhausted when I finally got through the list. And by that time I was so nervous I could not sleep. One lecture night I heard you tell of an artist who captured a feeling or word, as you call it, of "Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful?" In his personal experience, I began to apply this idea to my case. Instead of thinking of and imagining every article I needed, I tried to capture the feeling that something wonderful was happening to me. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. I would say over and over to myself as I fell asleep, "Isn't it wonderful? Something marvelous is happening to me now." And as I fell asleep, I would feel the way I would expect to feel under such circumstances. I repeated that imaginary action and feeling for 2 nights, 2 months, night after night. And one day in early October, I met a causal friend that I hadn't seen for months, who informed me was about to leave on a trip to New York. I had lived in New York City many years ago, and we talked of the city a few moments and then parted. I completely forgot the incident. 1 month later to the day, this man called me at my apartment and simply handed me a certified check and my name for $2,500. After I got over the initial shock of seeing my name on a check for so much money, the story that unfolded seemed to me like a dream. It concerned a friend I had not seen nor heard from in more than 25 years. This friend of my past, I now learned, had become extremely wealthy in those 25 years. Hadn't seen him in 25 years, and he became extremely rich in the time I didn't see him. Our mutual acquaintance, who had brought the check to me from this friend, had met him quite by accident during the trip to New York last month. During their conversation, they spoke of me, and for reasons I was not to know, this only friend decided to share a portion of this great wealth with me. For the next 2 years, from the office of his attorney, I received monthly checks so generous in amount they not only covered every necessary requirement of daily living, but left much over for all the lovely things of life. A car, clothes, a spacious apartment, and best of all, no need to earn my daily bread. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us this day our daily bread. This past month, I received a letter and some legal papers to be signed, which provide the continuation of this monthly income for the rest of my natural life. And here's another Neville story. Neville Goddard taught her how to manifest money within 24 hours. I know a lady in New York who, as a combination seamstress and designer, was not earning much and wanted not only to have a better income, but to do more designing than sewing. When she discussed this with me and told me the amount of money she wanted to make, I urged her not to limit herself, asking, "Would you like to supervise those who do the sewing as well as doing the designing?" And when she told me she would love that, I urged her to write down the amount of money she would like to make, deduct her taxes, and determine the balance. Figuring it out to the penny and believing she would be paid in cash, this lady felt the envelope containing the bills and coins she would receive. Shaking the envelope, she heard the change rattle. Then she tore off the end of the envelope and let the money fall on the table, pulled out the bills, and smelled them. Do you know that you can smell money? It has an odor of its very own, like nothing else. Then this lady counted the money, down to the very penny. The next day, while in her room at her hotel on 34th Street, her telephone rang and she was advised that a gentleman the next day, while in her room at a hotel on 34th Street, her telephone rang and she was advised that a gentleman was downstairs and wanted to see her. She had never met this man before, but knew his reputation and certainly never dreamed of him calling on her. But she met him in the lobby, where they discussed business on the terms that she would be more and more the designer and less the seamstress. She then named the salary that we had discussed, and when he agreed, she promised to start working for him the following Monday. 1 week later, when she opened her envelope, she counted her money out to the very pennies she had imagined only a week before. Now, how can you call that coincidence? Dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part relative to its fulfillment.